talked about Adin Ross in the past. I've made a couple of videos about him, and I've been very clear. I've never been a massive fan of Adin Ross. Yeah, I'm don't necessarily like all that much. Like, I don't have a vendetta out for the guy. I don't hate him. I don't wish like a downfall on him. I just don't particularly like him. I don't particularly like, you know, a lot of the times the way that he acts and, you know, the way that he perceives himself. And I definitely think that he can come off a little bit as a bit arrogant at times. But, you know, it is what it is. Like I said, if he wants to act like that, that's fair enough. You know, I just make videos about it because it's Adin Ross, man. The guy's a big name. And, you know, when something big happens about that guy, it gets views, man. So, of course, you're going to make content. But this time, you know, I'm making content not just to, like, you know, make fun of him or to, you know, have a bash at him. This is something that's actually serious. That's actually like happening to this dude, and you can actually see it, you know, with his last stream of him ending where, you know, and I'm going to play the clip in a few minutes of, you know, FaZe Banks started talking to him, telling him to end his stream, you know, him talking about it, and then apparently came out and made a tweet, which I think he's deleted later. He ended up deleting as well. So the whole sort of minor backstory on this is that, you know, Adin Ross has been gambling a lot on stream too, and it's just not like a little amount. Apparently, from what I've seen, this man lost apparently like $13 million in one fucking day. This man spent $13 million on gambling and lost it all. Some people will never even see 1 million of that in their fucking lifetime, and this man went ahead and gambled 13 million in one day and lost it all. And obviously, you know, he's obviously partnered with Kick, and, you know, Kick are the ones who own Stake, you know, so he's kind of earning money from being a Kick streamer, and then he's just pumping that money all the way back into Kick, man. And obviously, it's come full circle for him, you know, and gambling is a serious addiction, and it's a serious issue. And usually a lot of the times when people have gambling addictions, it's not just like them addicted to gambling. Usually a lot of the times it's more than that going on. You know, I used to work at a casino, so, you know, I used to work as a bartender at a casino, and even though I was just a bartender, we knew about, you know, a whole load of people when it came to on the floor gambling, because when it came to like me doing my training to, you know, my whole like 1 week induction and do like a little bit of training for the casino, you know, we were told about like gambling and gambling addictions and all that kind of stuff, because, you know, even though we're just bartenders, we still have to give out, and like, you know, if we see someone who's actually, you know, got a serious addiction, or someone comes to the bar and says like, I need help, you know, we have to be able to, you know, respond properly. So I know a decent amount, not a decent amount, I'd say I know a little bit amount when it comes to like, you know, people who have gambling addictions, and it's a serious fucking thing, serious issue. I've also had partners in the past where they know, you know, own family members who have gambling addictions, and it is extremely terrible. So while he was, you know, in the middle of doing this stream, FaZe Banks and Top G, FaZe Banks, man, what an absolute G, called up Adin Ross during the stream and begs him to end the stream because he knew about how bad it was getting out of control.
Do me a favor. If you're going to keep doing this, please end your stream.
For real?
Please, I'm begging you. I'm begging you. I'm begging you. These motherfuckers, they watch you, they love you, but they don't know what the fuck's going on in your life right now. And just, this is just really, really toxic, bro. From friend to friend. Fuck the Adin Ross. Fucking kick bullshit for a second, please.
You should just gamble. You guys just gamble it off stream then?
You need to, if you have to, Adin, let's just talk about it off stream. Just go outside and fucking breathe, bro. You just lost an absurd amount of money. I know you don't want to hear that out loud, but you have a fucking you've had a really crazy week, past couple days, like, yeah, and you just fucking...
This shit doesn't make it any better, like, at all.
Obviously not, bro. And this is what happens in times like this. Like, shit just spirals out of fucking control.
So, yeah, like I said, big ups to FaZe Banks. Like, what an absolute man. Like, that's the kind of friend that you want in your life. You know, I think that Adin Ross, a lot of the times, you know, like I've said, I've never liked him. I think that at times he can be arrogant. And a lot of the times you are who you surround yourself with. And, you know, at least from what I've seen from his streams and the people that come on his streams, he doesn't really necessarily hang around, you know, the best of people and affiliate himself with the greatest people. But man, if you want someone in your life, it's definitely someone like FaZe Banks, because someone to be able to like tell you stop what you're doing, you're just gonna keep ruining yourself, is absolutely good. And then right after Adin Ross did that, he also, you know, right before he ended his stream, This is the clip that I'm going to show right now, is right before he ended his stream.
Yeah, no, I didn't link with HS and Ice Poseidon today. Should be told, I have absolutely zero motivation to leave the crib right now. Zero. And I really wish I could tell you guys what I've been going through. It's just like, I really fucking wish, bro. If I didn't develop and raise such a toxic, weird community, I would do it. I would.
So, obviously, you know, him saying there about, you know, how he's obviously going through something a little bit more. Then he also came out with this tweet as well. Like I said, I think he's deleted it because I tried going on his Instagram himself, and it's actually not up there. So, you know, he's obviously, I don't know if he's felt ashamed by tweeting something like that. And like he said as well, like he said himself, his community's fucked. Like, on God, like, even whenever I've posted something about this man, and like, even people who are fans of him, you have to admit, at times he could be a wanker. There's nothing wrong with saying that. You can like someone and still acknowledge that they're a bit of an asshole. I fucking love Asmongold. Like, I've talked about that man so many. I talk about him fucking way too much because he's like honestly my favorite content creator. I just love watching these videos and shit because I watch him all the fucking time. And to me, he's always a good example when it comes to just anything. I love Asmongold. Even he knows he's an asshole sometimes. And me as a viewer, even I know he can be an asshole still sometimes. And that's fine. I still fucking like the dude. He could be an asshole. Big shit. I could be a fucking asshole sometimes. And you know what? Adin Ross can be a fucking wanker sometimes. But just because you like him doesn't mean you don't have to acknowledge that he's not a wanker. And like he said, he's developed a very toxic and shitty fucking community. And a lot of it's his own fault. Like, majority of the time, I think that this is like, I'd say that it only happens a little bit, like that it doesn't happen. So it doesn't happen like, you know, only a little bit of the time, but your community is a reflection of you. So if your community is extremely toxic, extremely shit, and extremely fucking weird, to some extent, that's your own fault. So if he can't come out onto his own stream and like say like, hey guys, listen man, I'm going through a bit of a depression at the moment. You know, I'm really down in the dumps. I'm pretty sad and shit like that. And then his community's just going to come out, make fun of him, be fucking weird, be stupid, call him a bitch boy, a soy boy, and all that kind of stuff. Well, you know what? To some extent, that's his own fault. And I feel bad at the same time. It's a really fine line here because, you know, me, myself, I've dealt with depression for a long fucking time. Like, I was depressed when I was like fucking 15 years old. And I grew up and I had to, at some point, you know, I had to start taking antidepressants because that's how fucking bad it got. And I'm not ashamed of saying that. To me, it's not a big deal. It's just, you know, it's just something that I went through. And I feel like I'm fine to talk about that shit. And, you know, I'd hope that even though, you know, I'd have a community where I can be cool and stupid with and make jokes with, and, you know, my community would be able to joke with me and I'd be able to joke with them, take the piss out of everyone. At the same time, when it comes down to something actually serious, I feel like it'd be good to, you know, that I could actually say something and my community would go like, you know what, Donnie, that's fine. But this man's obviously developed a terrible fucking community. And I kind of feel bad for him at the same time, you know, the fact that he isn't able to talk to his own community. Now, this man was really famous from young. Like Adin Ross got very popular at a very young age. And to me, when it comes to getting extremely popular on YouTube, Twitch, like with your like any type of content creator from a young age, it's almost the exact same as when these like actors and actresses get, you know, extremely famous from a young age. You know, good example is Macaulay Culkin, you know, extremely famous from a young age back in the 90s with Home Alone and Home Alone 2. Got really famous, had a lot of money, and then he just got addicted to drugs and just went down a fucking spiral. What's another? Amanda Bynes is another good example. You know, famous from young and then just went all downhill. Content creators these days are starting to be the exact same. These content creators that start off big, really young, end up making really dumb decisions, and you know sometimes you know their repercussions are mitigated and they deserve them at the other sometimes other times they don't. And for some, and you know, as much as I've said, I feel like Adin Ross is definitely a bit of a wanker at times. I do sympathize him with a lot because if he's going through some kind of depression and then he's taking it out with gambling to try and make himself feel better, it's not a good thing. And I honestly hope that this guy actually tries to seek out some serious fucking help, because gambling $13 million in one day, or like, you know, 7 million, at least from what it's like I said, some people have said, so I've seen 7, but then I've also heard 13. So, but it doesn't fucking matter. Like millions and millions, like gambling that fucking much is not good. And it's almost like a lot of these, you know, streamers such as like Trainwrecks and XQC, you know, probably the biggest two when it comes to these gambling streams, they're just making it out like gambling is nothing, you know. because they're so rich and so well off that to them, when they burn $1 million, it's fuck all. And a lot of the general public are starting, especially their viewers, because a lot of their viewers are very young. Like, their viewers are extremely young. Trainwrecks, Adin Ross, XQC, they have a very young viewers. Like, I would say that 90% of their viewership would be like 24 and under. And then maybe like, I'd say 60% are under the age of like 18. I would 100%, I would be confident in saying that 60% of their audience would have to be under the age of 18. And to them, they don't see gambling as anything because they see their big streamers, you know, gambling all this money. And to them, they just don't see it as anything. So when, you know, Adin Ross comes out and says, you know, I'm going through depression and I'm gambling a lot, to them, they're just like, oh, so what? Like, that doesn't mean shit. We don't give a fuck. Because, you know, they're just stimulated to it. To them, it doesn't mean shit. Gambling $13 million is like nothing because they're seeing their big famous streamers do it. But yeah, it's really sad to see like this man going through a depression. Like I said, you know, I don't particularly like Adin Ross. Don't hate him at the same time. I don't really give a shit. Like I said, in the past, I've definitely, you know, at times he's definitely been a wanker, but I sympathize with this man when it comes to depression and having a gambling addiction, and I hope he gets, you know, tries to find some help, you know. And it's the people that he surrounds himself, at least from what I've seen as an outsider, you know, besides Face Banks calling him, is not relatively good people. Like, majority of these people that he surrounds himself with are not good people. So hopefully he gets better, because if not, this might be a downfall of Adin Ross. But yeah, that's it from me. Let me know what you guys think about this whole situation. Peace out.